Welcome, folks. This is the last video of 2024, and then the next one will be in 2025. So happy holidays, and dependent on what holidays or what do you believe, happy end of the year. And I hope the next cycle, 2025, for us is an amazing year, not only financially, but also on all other parts of our lives. So that being said, let's take a look at the current state of crypto, and let me do some predictions here for the month of January and then for the whole year. So the farther we go into the future, these predictions become more speculative. So again, I'm no guru, I'm no genie. Most of the things that I'll be saying will be just by looking at a chart, looking at historical data, and then assuming, guesstimating the rest. So again, this is not exactly how things are going to happen, how things are going to pan out. This is just my opinion, Everton's opinion on how the market will react in 2025. So let's jump right into it. So first of all, if we look at our options and we scroll down, we see that we got those two options that we sold. We sold a call $100,000 on Bitcoin, and we sold a 3,600 call on Ethereum. And both of them were fully expired, bringing us some cash into our pockets. So 5% and 4.2% respectively. This is the amount of money that we made from this week's trade, which is fantastic. 4%, 5% is a huge number. We love to see that. So that being said, we saw that Bitcoin did not reach back into the $100,000. It got really close, but again, I thought that this was going to happen, but it was going to lose momentum, which it did. It wasn't strong enough. I was looking at the RSI, I was looking at volume and orders placed, both on the liquidation side, what was going to be liquidated for leverage positions, and also the order block for things that were going to happen. So I did a good reading for this week, and I'm proud of that. So that being said, if we look right here at the copy trading strategy, December has been very slow, and this could be for a plethora of reasons, right? This could be slower month for trading. We don't want to have risky trades when we're making other people make money, right? So there's a lot of reasons. Again, I believe that January could be very, very profitable for us for the copy trading, but still 3.8% so far is fantastic. Not the best month, but again, still very, very good. If we look at the Phoenix, that one is at 23%. It did very good this month in December, 1.12%. So far, far away from being the worst month so far. Actually, one of the very good months if we look historically. That being said, let's take a look at how the markets are right now. We currently have Bitcoin and Ethereum at 96,347, Ethereum at $3,393, and they have been consolidating. If you're looking at 4 hours charts, you're not going to see that. You're just going to see huge ups and downs. But if you zoom out, if you see in the daily or 3 days or weeklies, you're going to see that we are stuck in a little bit of a range. And that being said, we can also see some corrections happening on Bitcoin dominance and also on the USDT dominance. We're going to look into it later for the USDT dominance and the Bitcoin dominance, because those are able to give us a little bit of a peek in the future for what's going to happen with altcoins. Because again, if you have Bitcoin's dominance going down and USDT dominance going down, it means that the money is flowing somewhere else. And if it is flowing somewhere else that is not Bitcoin and not stablecoins, most likely will be altcoins. And this will mark a huge bull run for altcoins. And we could see 40, 50, 60% per month on altcoins until that season is over. So if we look right now at the charts, you'll see that the predictions are all over the place. And I covered this already, that usually when you look, you can see people being very, very bullish or very, very bearish, saying a lot of things will happen, we are in danger, and a lot of other things, or we're going to go to 250K next year. There's a lot of uncertainty because, again, the markets cannot be predicted. You can just look at historical data. This is why I think historical data is fantastic. It is a very good compass for us to use, for us to look into the future by seeing what the past did in similar situations, which is what we're living right now. Election year, halving year, and huge volatility coming in. So the new thing here is because we have retailers and we have institutions. We saw institutions in 2020, 2022. These were very good years for institutions to join through partnership with crypto, with Web3 and all of that. But that being said, now we're seeing BlackRock, we're seeing a lot of governments talking about Bitcoin as store of value, which is fantastic. And this will indeed change a little bit, add factors to things that we saw in the past that could maybe be different this year. But that being said, let's take a look at some articles that could be very negative, could be very positive. The first one is that the 80K is still possible. And I look at this, and I do think we could still be see a correction, but for reasons that I'm going to talk in a little bit, I think we could see first 100K again and then go back to the bottom. We see right here some charts that are showing a possible heads and shoulders, and if it breaks below the $91,000, it means that this head and shoulders was indeed correct, and now we're going to see a little correction through the bottom, which could go all the way to the $80,000. Some people are even saying $60,000, which if you look at liquidity and order books, you can see that a lot of orders will be taken until it gets to 60,000, and this is why I think 60K is not doable. I don't think 60K will be visible again. I remember Ricardo also mentioning something in the comments a few videos back, maybe 2 weeks back, saying that on election year, the week before the election announcements, that price was never seen ever again. So for Bitcoin, I think it was around $67,000 or $70,000. And if that data matches and repeats itself, we're never going to see $69,000 Bitcoin ever again. So the correction, 80,000 could be doable. 60,000, I don't know if that's going to catch anytime soon. Maybe we can see 70s, maybe lower 70s. Like here, it shows a $73,000 breakout all the way if it breaks through the 80,000. We can only hope that this doesn't happen. And if it happens, I can only hope that I have enough cash to buy more Bitcoin at these prices again, because then I think 2025 we will see all-time highs of multiple of 6 digits. And then by end of 2025, we will be remembering times of 5 digits Bitcoin, which I don't think will never happen once we get past that $140,000, $150,000. Here we have another article that does show and suggests the 73 being a bottom for Bitcoin, if it indeed will look for the next bottom. But here we have a very good chart that I would like to show you, which is the USDT dominance compared to the Bitcoin dominance. And you can see that it almost is the inverse. It is the flipped version of the USDT to the Bitcoin dominance. And if you look now, the USDT dominance, it tested right at the 3.8% and now it bounced back, and we are stuck in a little bit of correction in a consolidation period on both Bitcoin dominance, on both USDT dominance, and on Bitcoin in general. So this is good to see that you can see clearly here that once the dominance flows from one place, it goes straight to another, or it will be fragmented across maybe Ethereum and altcoins. So when these two charts right here start to look very similar or to go in the same direction, it means that it will not be going from Bitcoin to USDT. It will not be going from USDT to Bitcoin dominance. It will be flowing towards somewhere else, which will be Ethereum, altcoins, meme coins, and all of the rest. So this is what we have to look for. We have to look for signals that match each other here from USDT dominance and Bitcoin dominance, and this will mean that altcoin season is going to be fully started right now. Another thing that I like to show is that you can see clearly how different opinions are placed here, especially if you use TradingView. I use TradingView a little bit, but not for my technical analysis. But you can see if you go on the idea section, we'll have both people who think Bitcoin will go up a lot in the short term and people who think it's going to correct down. We have a lot of different analysis here for the short and the long term on Bitcoin, and you can see everyone is looking at the same charts most of the time with the same indicators, and we have different opinions from everything. So take whatever you read online or see online or watch online like this video with a huge grain of salt, because at the end of the day, what I'm saying is what I think will happen, which in the end, by using every indicator, it is just speculation. If one single person was always right, everyone will be using that strategy. He would be a huge name across markets, across traders, across investors, because this person is the guru to follow and everyone will be copying his strategy. He will be making millions, billions of dollars by selling new course, teaching a lot of people on how to make money. But this is why you can see that there are different opinions and different ways to view things. So take that in mind before you jump into other people's conclusions. So let's look right here at USDT dominance. You can see that it tried to break out of this range right here. It broke out for a little bit out of this wedge pattern, but at the end of the day, we got stopped right at this resistance right here. It did look like it was going to go up and never closed above this place. It corrected, and now this wedge pattern right here became a support, and it bounced, it broke, and now we will have to see if it's going to correct above or keep it now as resistance one more time. So keep it above. If it does, we should be looking one more time at 3.8 right here. This is the 1 hour chart. So if you look to the daily or the 4-hour charts, you can see that the 3.8 will be the huge stop. This is a very strong support right here for USDT dominance. But if we test this again and we break out, most likely we'll be looking towards the 4.5, maybe 4.7% here on the USDT side. Now, if we look at the Bitcoin side, you can see that we are at 58.21%. This is the 1-day chart right here, but we are consolidating and even testing supports and resistances from the past, from all the way to September to October prices that we saw huge volatility and movement right here between November and December now are starting to slow back down. We're seeing volume going down a little bit. So we're going to be stuck back into this range. We don't know for how long, but that if we confirm that this range will be fixed for a period of time, and then USDT will also be going through a consolidation, we could see altcoins going up a little bit. So keep an eye on this. And now let's move to more speculative ideas on what's going to happen. Personally, I see two things. So in a few days, Trump will be back as president of the United States of America. When that happens, we're going to see huge volume on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin will rally. Depending on what price it is, if it is a 95, we could see 100K. If it is a 97, we could see 1.2, 1.3, maybe 1.4, but I don't think 1.4 is possible in just a single leg. But we are going to see huge volume on Bitcoin. So if you're trading volatility, this is the trade for you. You can trade volatility, you can trade spreads, you can trade strangles, you can trade whatever profits from volatility increasing. So even calls, if you want to go naked calls, naked puts, that is the time for you to do so, because you can buy a low IV and wait for IV to rise when Trump gets in. This is the first thing that I see. Right after, still in the first days of January, the market's going to crash. This is how I see that is going to happen. So even if it's going to go up while Trump is getting back in charge, could be going up 4 to 5 days in a row, then it's going to tank. And after it tanks, fear and greed index, we'll see a lot of FOMO. We're going to see a lot of FUD of people saying Bitcoin is dead, Bitcoin will die. So right after a huge spike in IV, we're going to see a drop in price for Bitcoin. But that will consolidate Bitcoin for a little bit more, maybe towards the 100K again, maybe at the current price that we are. And that will bring it space for Ethereum and altcoins, because Q1 is Ethereum and altcoin season. So we should see Bitcoin slowing down, losing some IV, and Ethereum going up in IV, going up in price. And maybe by the end of January, we could see 43, 44,000 Ethereum. This is my speculation. For Bitcoin, maybe we can see 103, 104 for end of January. But again, I have more certainty that Ethereum will be going up a lot than Bitcoin to be going up towards the 100K one more time. So that being said, are we going to see 80K just if there's a huge spike in IV for when Trump gets in? But then if right after we start to see some patterns that are very bearish, I think we could test at least the $90,000 at the bottom again. At the 91,000, I think was the bottom last time. And then if we break through that, it is 88,000. If we break through that, it is 80,000, and so on and so forth. I don't see 73,000. I don't see 80,000. Maybe 88,000, but that's just in a worst case scenario. And if that happens, what am I going to do? If we see that 88, what am I going to do? I'm going to get in heavy with options for March, April, May for Bitcoin. So I'm most likely going to buy leaps for $90,000 Bitcoin for March, for April, and I'll just hold them because I think those will be the most profitable strategies for me in this cycle. And for Ethereum, I'm just going to hold the leaps that we have on Ethereum. I think those will be fantastic, especially right now where we most likely going to see in the next few days Ethereum going back up to the $4,000 once again. That being said, if we zoom out for the whole year of 2025, it will be a straight line up. as we see with the past cycles. We see corrections, but when you zoom out to weeklies, after the halving cycle, huge candle up. So this is most likely what we're going to see in 2025. So let me know, what do you think will happen next year? Anyways, if you are not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. If you want to see more tips like this, what do I believe the market will do? Market analysis, a little bit more technical. Let me know. I don't want to do just more casual videos. I want to focus more, if that's something that you want to see, more technical analysis, even though I'm not super qualified to do so anyways, but just give my 2 cents, you know? Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video, which will be next year. So have a good end of the year and take care. Peace.